Freaking out, man. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is Gianluca Zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom. Here we go, guys. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States to the FM network. Another Sunday, another show, and breaking news. Yes, this for me is very breaking news. Probably it's more important than the presidential election. I tell you, I take this duty, for me it's a duty, to be on the air. It is not like a hobby, it's not even like a job. I got my own businesses to do. It's like a duty. You know, people goes to church and do volunteerism, or you go to the hospital, whatever you want to do, help children. I try to be here and trying to bring facts and news about things that they are very important. When I say politics, for people say, oh, I hate politics, I don't want to get involved into politics. You know what? That's fine. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do in your life. But if you realize that politics means your life, means how you can raise your child or your children, what type of food you can eat, how much money you can keep or what you work for, you know. And more important also, you are responsible, we are responsible if we get or we do not get involved into politics about how we're going to be ruled. Unfortunately, you know, there is going to be people there that they're going to try to infiltrate the political system and use it for their evil agendas. Now, I want to say a big premise. I do not endorse anybody officially on this show. I have everybody. Sometimes I have also people twice. And I don't even like them maybe, but I don't care. This show is not about me endorsing anybody. The show is about giving the opportunity to everybody out there to at least let the customers, in this case, not customers, but let's say the listeners, and of course, the voters about what they're about. And I ask you my questions that they're honest for me, because I would ask the same question to everybody. And I did ask the same question to every candidate. I don't care if you are running for state, House, or Senate, or of course, Mohave County political office. Now, as I said, we have one of the most important elections, especially the one coming now in the next few weeks, in Mohave County and all over the states. I said in Washington things may be almost impossible to fix right now. It's going to take a long time. But I really believe that in our local government, city and county government, especially in the state of Arizona, we have a lot of much more hope to make these changes better, faster, because we don't need to convince, like an act of God, 300 politicians that already sold out their soul to the devil. It's almost impossible to get them back all together in once. But I think here in our county, when it comes down to especially the Mohave County Sheriff Office, the new sheriff is going to be one of the most important positions that we ever had. Now, I had already on the show almost every candidate. I say almost because there are some candidates that they need to come on the show. So far, the only candidate really I didn't have was Joe Archie. I invited him, and I will invite him again. And also officially I invited also Rodney Head, that is running for county sheriff, and right now is the deputy chief for the sheriff. I called his office or whatever, and they told me that the message was received, but I don't care. I had everybody else. Somebody, I also had them twice. Now, as I said, I will keep my personal preferences for me. But when it comes down to if somebody, any of you, any other candidate, I don't care which party you are or which candidate you are, if you find you can prove with facts that there is a real corruption issue, I don't care who you are. I will bring you on the air. This is my duty. That's why I said I'm here. I'm committed. Sometimes it's a dirty business. That means, you're going to get dirty because this stuff, normally you don't get paid enough to deal with this garbage. Okay, seriously. So, but I think it's a responsibility, and I hope every other media out there will take the time to investigate and to report allegations. Because as I said, now I'm going to play an audio on the show of serious corruptions allegations happening at the Mohave County Sheriff Office. Why I say allegations? Because I believe that everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and still we're supposed to have a due process with the trial and a jury and a judge and all the stuff. But it's said that when you start to realize that these allegations, who's going to investigate the watchers? Who's going to watch the watchers? If we really have a problem in the Mohave County Sheriff at the highest levels of command in this sort of conspiracy, that's what I call, I think that we're going to have our time to find out who's going to investigate. So all I can do as a humble little radio show here, I try to bring these facts. Now, everybody I'm going to mention, or this recording, audio recording, is a phone conversation I'm going to play right now, will mention, I want to let them know that they all have the opportunity to come on the air and defend themselves and rebuke these facts. That's a fact. I'm not going to be like some other shows that they cut you off. No, you come here, I give you the airtime, you can make your point, and that's it. So now, before I play this audio, I want to bring the person that recorded these conversations over the phone and is also connected to the campaign of one of these Mohave County sheriff candidates. Of course, the candidate in question is Cori Merryman from Lake Havasu, and I am having right now on the show her husband, Ed Mack. Ed, are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing, Luca?
Very good. And before we go ahead, I want to always be upfront, and I have no problems with that. I know Ed very well, or at least I've been knowing you very well the last few months. We also, even not officially, because, we have our own separate businesses, but we have collaboration, let's put it in this way. So, but beside that, for me, I don't care who you are at this point. You could be the last person that I like in this county or in this state. If you bring me information like you're going to bring me right now, you're sharing with me, as I said, I don't care who you are. It's my duty to report this information. That's all I want to say out there. So everybody knows, yes, I know Ed Mack very well. I think he's a great guy too on many issues. And I'm not going to go further. As I said, I'm not going to talk about my personal preferences about people or endorsement. This is about bringing the facts, and we'll focus on the facts. So, Ed, give us a little bit the introduction of this audio file that I will play in a few minutes that is very disturbing. And as I said, these allegations, if they are real and they're supposed to be investigated, because we have two witnesses here that we have mentioned in these facts, they're criminals. Please introduce a little bit what's going on with this audio. What is about?
Well, May 12th of this year, I got a phone call from a deputy from the Mohave County Sheriff's Office, and he told me that his Sergeant Oskins of the Mohave County Sheriff's Office he was up in District 1, which is the Kingman Sheriff's Office, their main office, and he walked in the room, and in the room he saw candidate for Sheriff Doug Schuster, 4 lieutenants, the captain, and Deputy Wilson. And he was like, whoops, I guess I walked in, and they said, no, come on in here. Basically, the sergeant said that he saw a redacted form on the table that they were going to push out into social media, and in regards to Cori Merryman. And they talked about it, but what happened was he wanted to give me a heads up. The sergeant came to the deputy and says, please call Ed and let him know and his wife know that they plan on doing something with her file and pushing it out onto social media, and I want to give them a heads up of what their attempts are going to be. And at the time when he called me, I was in shock. I couldn't find anything to record it, and I told him I'd call him back. Well, later on, I ended up at the shop, and I got a recorder, and I called him, and I asked him. I said, what's going on? And basically, you'll hear the recording. Also, he explained to me in the first conversation that Rodney Head, who's the deputy chief of the Mohave County Sheriff's Office, and 2 detectives interrogated him about Cori's campaign, because they know that Deputy Lane is actually, he's on our license for our company. Tom Sheehan put him on our license back in 2008. He basically gave him a work permit to be on our license, and basically he can bring guns back and forth to the sheriff's office, or he could drop weapons off to one of our gun dealers that are in the county. And basically, that's that.
Okay.
Where am I now? Where am I in this whole thing?
You are right now in the situation that you introduced in this phone call that now I'm going to play. And let me stop you 1 second. Right now, just what you're saying is disturbing, because we have here, according to what you say, according to the witness that is been talking to you over the phone, the deputy chief of the sheriff department was also running for the position of sheriff, correct me if I'm wrong, that here is conspiring to release the record of your wife, Cori Merryman, running for sheriff. At the same time, for what I understand, because there's also other conversation that you showed to me, they were trying also to modify the record. And is it right or wrong, what I'm saying here?
Well, what ended up happening, because I did call him, actually I believe he called me back. I have to look at my call logs, but he did call me back, and I guess Sergeant Oskins got back from his testing down there in Las Vegas, and basically, I've been sending screenshots of what they put on Facebook back and forth with Deputy Lane, and Deputy Lane showed Oskins, and Oskins says, I never put that she was the one in that email, and why isn't that that's supposed to be redacted? He goes, oh my God. I mean, because he goes, what I saw was a redacted version with no names on it. And he goes, now you're showing me this, and I never put that she is the one on there. Basically, what they're trying to do, what I see, is try to, Cori Merryman was the first one to start, announce her run for sheriff. Mm-hmm. And she's been campaigning all over this county, working hard. I mean, 24 hours a day, this woman is campaigning, and she's everywhere. And I believe that it scared them in their races. And at that point, they got together and said, "Wow, we're going. This is my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. We got to stop her somehow, and this is a good way to stop her." And as you'll hear it in the audio. But what concerns me is that the deputy chief of Mohave County Sheriff's Office would actually interrogate Deputy Lane over my wife's campaign and bring 2 detectives in it. That is
wow.
That's unethical. That's
for me, that's tyrannical, because that's his personal beliefs and political First Amendment. And we're talking about using county resources to do a police state action, like almost intimidation. Seriously. I mean, as I said, I'm just, according to what you say, and I wasn't there, but according to what he says, this is very disturbing. Let me play this audio, because at this point, I think the best thing we can do here, it is not just me and you talking. It's about let the witnesses here, people that also, they're very reputable. We're talking about deputy sheriff and a sergeant here, talking about this situation that allegedly is happening or was happening at the Mohave County Sheriff. And why am I playing this? Do I like to do this? No, I don't like to do this. I wish we could talk about how all great things are. But unfortunately, my duty is to try to inform with facts and also bring you the other side. I hope I will talk, of course, I will call Deputy Chief Rodney Head about this specifically. And every other name is being mentioned. I will call him personally, and I want to give them on the floor here on the show the time and the opportunity to defend themselves. Of course, this is not a court of law. This is just a court of opinions. But I really believe this is true. Somebody must step up, because this is for me, allegedly what happened. It's a criminal behavior. My humble opinion. Now, let me play this one, and let's see what you guys, the listeners, think about it. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna, and we are not afraid to expose the facts. Listen, or the alleged facts.
What's up? I'm not just tripping out on this whole thing. So Oskins actually walked in the freaking room on these people?
Yeah, Oskins says he was, I think he was up in Kingman because he was up there taking his TFC test and they were having a meeting. And as soon as he walked in, he heard part of the conversation and he started walking out. And I said, no, we need to stay. We got something else we need to talk to you about. So he overheard part of the initial conversation and they carried on to something else and called in one of the deputies.
So basically, they actually did this at the sheriff's freaking office in District 1?
Yeah.
So he doesn't care. He'll just speak his mind now at this point because he's leaving.
Yeah, but I got a feeling he wants to stay out of this because he doesn't want to get dragged into the bus, especially with Wilson driving it, because Wilson will do anything he can to get back at him. But what the funny thing is about Schuster and Wilson, Schuster was on the pursuit board that got him his stripes removed.
That makes no sense. So Schuster was on the board to get Wilson's stripes removed. Why would Wilson be working with Schuster? That makes no sense.
I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out as this is going through.
Yeah, he's been promised. He's promised the stripes back. I promise you that.
So that I don't know. Anything other than that, I try to stay out of it. Try to stay in the office as much as I can, and try to keep my nose clean. Like I said, I got questioned by 2 detectives and the chief about the rumor going around that Cori's going to appoint me to chief deputy. She gets elected, so.
Well, I look at it this way. Freaking Oskins, man. Oskins would be safe. They could not fire him if he came forward. You know that, right? They can't fire him for that. They won't fire him because it would get so big, it'd be media. So, I mean, is he willing? Could you talk to him, see if he's willing to at least do something?
Well, the conversation he had with me is he wants to stay completely out of this.
Well, of course he does.
But he wanted to make sure you guys had a heads up as to what is their planning or what apparently their intents are going to be.
Yeah, that's a felony.
Schuster's already showed his side as it is once before, so.
He's a freaking, I can't believe him. And here he is running around going, I want to run a clean campaign, and he's actually trying to bury my wife. You know, he threatened my wife. I will bury you, he said. If you say anything about me taking 6 months off for having my PTSD, his mental breakdown. And he is actually doing what he promised. But why is he allowed in
I'm surprised that video hasn't come out yet.
But why is he allowed in the sheriff's office? He's not even an employee there anymore. That's what I want to know.
It's public office.
I understand.
Anybody can walk in there. And I haven't honestly been paying attention to much of anything. I've been staying out of it. Especially since being called in by the chief and 2 detectives and questioned about my involvement with the campaign and Cori's campaign as it is, so.
That is so unethical what they did to you.
It was a meeting between the lieutenants and the captain. So the 4 lieutenants and the captain were there when he walked in the room, and they told him to stick around since he was the senior sergeant of the district or the agency.
So this is Rodney.
Okay, let me stop 1 second here. Are you still there?
Yeah, can I add one more thing?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Just the other day I noticed that candidate Doug Schuster put on his Facebook page that he denied all of this. Here's the problem with that. On May 12th, I get the call from Deputy Lane. Okay? All right. So now I get that call from him. I have the audio recording. On the 13th, my mother has some friends that live in Kingman. Okay, and I had the text messages and I had the phone records both right here. They texted her and said, Mona, we need to talk to you. So she calls and she says, I want to let you know. Now remember, these people help out with Doug Schuster's campaign. This is on the 13th. This is before any records hit social media. And she says, you know, there's this, email about Cori. And I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is what's going on. This is going to go out into social media. My mother calls me and tells me all about it. I said, Mom, I already know. A deputy called me. Now, get this. My wife calls me. I'm at the factory. And she goes, I just got a letter in the mail. And I said, really? What does it say? She goes, you want me to open it up? I said, no, don't open it up because I just got a letter too from the concerned citizens of Mohave County. It has a postmark date on it, the 16th. Okay? Mm-hmm. I open it up, and it is that copy of an unredacted email of what they were talking about behind closed doors at District 1 Sheriff's Office. The dates do not lie. There's no way out of it. These are facts, and I do have all this.
Wow.
So that's, I want to just put that out there. It's very disturbing to me.
It's very disturbing because after, this is the allegations that's supposed to be investigated, my opinion, criminally. But where do you start with? If allegedly the corruption starts from the same office that is supposed to defend us and supposed to enforce the law. I mean, this is very serious matter. I'm telling you. And I want to say one more time, just to be sure it's clear. You mentioned here, we mentioned here a couple of names. First of all, candidate Doug Schuster, running for sheriff. I would like to have you again on the show. I already have you once. And I would like to have you again because these are serious allegations. And I want to give you the opportunity to completely rebuke them and do whatever you have to do. Because I hope this is not real. That's all I can say. Same story with, of course, at the sheriff department, there are several people. I don't know all of them, but I know that one person is running for office for the sheriff position, Rodney Head. Mr. Rodney Head, I would like to have you on the show, seriously. And I think this is an important matter. And at this point, I would like to say something, Ed. What are you going to do? I mean, this information that you posted on Facebook already, beside to send it to me as a radio show, Love, Guns, and Freedom, did you already send it to other media, other TV station or radio station?
Well, my wife was contacted by someone who wanted to get her in touch with CNN because they heard the audio recording. We were contacted by an outfit out of Phoenix, Arizona that wanted to get involved and wanted to take it to Fox News. And Cori Merryman says, all I want to do is run a positive campaign. And she's announced her action plan, and she's putting it out in videos. And all she wants to do is do the right thing.
Oh, wait a second. Let me stop you 1 second. This is just my humble opinion. Of course, you don't need to agree with me. This is a positive campaign exposing corruption or alleged corruption, because, we need to prove it. I think this is the most positive things. That's why we need a real sheriff. I mean, we can talk all day long about 5 years plan, 4 years plan, and budgets and jail fine. It's important information, don't get me wrong. But if it's real that we have such a level of corruption, that's why more than ever, we need to have a sheriff. I don't care if it's man or woman, a man or a person that out there has the courage to expose this. That's probably the most positive part of her campaign or anybody's campaign. I don't care if any other candidate out there at the same situation, I would have them on the show here too. And all I can do, this is a humble radio show, but my job is to bring your version and ask to the other people there to defend themselves, or at least to bring their version. And more important, I hope there's going to be an investigation. The county attorney, maybe the FBI, I don't know. But this is serious, man. I mean, talking about having a sheriff office getting together with some other candidates and allegedly conspiring against the candidate that used to be in the service. I mean, that's pretty powerful for me, pretty disturbing. All right. Anything else you want to add on this matter?
I did on the 13th, after I did receive that call from Lane, from the deputy, I did contact the FBI, and I explained everything that was going on, and they said thank you, and that was about it. But I have a senior special agent. I called him and I asked him. I said, you work with the bureau. And I said, why haven't they actually come down to the office and interviewed me? They took an interview over the phone. And he says, well, the FBI gathers evidence and intelligence from a distance. He says, they'll never tell you that they're investigating. He says, and that's what he told me. So
okay.
That's I'm hoping that they have been investigating this. We did turn over evidence over to the Attorney General's office in Phoenix. We haven't really heard anything back yet, so that's where we're at right now. I guess we'll have to go from there.
All I can say is I pray that all this is wrong, Because if this is real, it can be proven real. And at this point, I think there is enough evidence for at least an investigation. You know, if I was law enforcement or anybody out there that's law enforcement, there are very specific laws that here allegedly they've been broken. So I think there should be at least an investigation. And then, of course, if nothing happened, we'll find out. But at the same time, I really believe that this is something so serious that it cannot be just put under the rug, you know. And I'm telling you, talking about positive campaign, probably this is one of the most positive things that any candidate out there, I don't care if you're running for county sheriff or county supervisors, when you see allegedly corruption or somebody breaking the law, it's your duty to step up and expose it. That's how we take this country back. That's the problem that we had for so many years. So I want to thank you. Go ahead.
You know, Luca, I walked into Wells Fargo Bank the other day, and the teller actually said to me, "Did you hear the campaign ads that are, you know, running against your wife, smear ads?" I said, "No. Who is it?" And he says, "I think it's some guy named Rod." And I went, "Oh my God!" I go, "That's Rodney Head." And then we found out today, because my wife called the radio station, they said, yes, he did run some radio ads, and the public basically started calling, and they're in an uproar over it and demanded for those ads to be taken down, and they did take his ads down. So,
wow,
I'm very disturbed over this whole thing.
Let me ask you one thing. You know, I am no lawyer. I am not a person that in law enforcement, but you know a little more than me because you're into this campaign, pretty involved. After all, it's your wife. Tell me something. If you are like a deputy chief in the sheriff department, are you allowed to run for elections for sheriff?
I believe it's Title 41. Don't quote me on this. 751. I believe I'd have to look.
Okay.
We're getting feedback, Luca. I'm sorry.
No problem.
We're getting a lot of feedback.
Okay.
Okay, are you back?
Yes,
okay,
I'm here. Good. I'm here.
No. We're actually getting triple feedback. Every word I say.
Let me put a pause 1 second here. I want to say one thing only. Listeners, don't go away. I'm going to have a little bit of a break, and I'm going to call Ed to finish this segment. Meanwhile, I want to let you know that you will have the full audio of these phone calls on lovegunsfreedom.com. I will post them there till all these elections is going to be over, and even after, because I really think this is important. And all I can do is this: if this is being given to me as member of the media, I have the duty to report them. Simple as that. And then I hope there's going to be an investigation, and more important, you listeners, you get involved, because that's the bottom line. If you don't get involved, we're going to be ruled by evil people. Okay, that's as simple as that. So let me play 1 second, a little bit of an ad, and I'll go back with that. Don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Stay here.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Okay, here we go. We are back with Ed Mack. He's the husband of Mohave County Sheriff candidate Cori Merryman. And as I said, the only reason why I want him here on the air, because he has some serious audio recording of a phone call conversations between him and one deputy chief, and also, one sheriff deputy, I'm sorry. I'm still in shock. And also about him and a sergeant in the force, in the sheriff department. And the allegations, they are very, very serious. It's about a conspiracy to somehow release to social media the personal record of former deputy Cori Merryman. Now, as I said, these are allegations, but the audio is real. The name of the people are real. These people have a reputation. They work for the sheriff department, and it's an audio conversation. It's legal in the state of Arizona, be recorded, and it's my duty as a member of the media to share it with you. My only job is, I hope it's going to be an investigation. I pray that you, the people, the listeners, start to do your own researches and decide what is best for our county. That's it. Now, Ed, I give you back the floor. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. So I want you to finish, wrap it up, whatever you have to say about this. If there is any other thing we should know. We were talking about, by the way, a question that I asked you. Is it legal for a deputy chief for the sheriff department while still in the service running for a sheriff position?
Well, Arizona Revised Statute Title 41-752 states that if you're basically collecting a salary or you're on payroll and you're out campaigning or any kind of opinion, forming an opinion, there's a lot of, you'd actually have to read it. But from what I've heard, from their campaign came back and said that only state that what's the word I'm trying to use?
Okay, no problem. Just think about it. I mean, the point is, we are no lawyers, we are no judges, but we can read the statute. Okay, so we're not trying to give legal advices just to get people not too excited, but we can read the statute as a regular people. We can read something and we can have our own opinion. So, according to what you read, what do you think?
From what I've read, basically they're saying it doesn't apply to county employees, only state. But what's funny is county employees are in the state retirement program. So that would just tell me something. You work for the county, but the county's in the state, and that's the way I look at it.
All right.
I encourage the viewers to read it themselves.
I pray that Mr. Rodney Head, and honestly, I don't know him, I never met him, and I really don't care. I mean, it's not like I have any agenda against him. I hope he can be here and proving with facts that all these things you're saying, they're not real, and maybe we got all mistaken. I wish, Mr. Rodney Head, please, I already called your campaign one time. I talked to a gentleman, and I invited you politely on the show. I've been polite with everybody, every candidate I had here. I always give him the same respect, regardless if I like him or not. So I hope, Mr. Rodney, you can come here. Maybe we can talk about this too. All right, Mr. Ed Mack, I want to say thank you for stepping up to at least having the courage to bring this serious conversation to a public debate, to a public forum. That's, I think, really the way we're going to take this county and this country back. Not being afraid to talk about things that allegedly they could be criminals and could be dangerous, because for many years, especially in the county, in every local business, talking about local government, it's too easy to be falling for the trap of being friends and, scratching each other's back and forget about the law. It's just about helping each other. And that's called the good old boy club. And this is about boys club. And this is exactly what we need to stop, in my opinion. All right, I give you 60 seconds. Whatever you want to say about anything, go ahead.
I would just like to thank you for taking the time to allow me to come on the show. I am disturbed about this. It bothers me deeply because I know with every fiber of my being this actually happened. I have the evidence, and I'm actually sick over it that they would take a woman like Cori Merryman, whom is my wife. She is the most wonderful person. And to go out and to attempt to discredit her, it's sickening. Everyone who's ever met her knows what type of a woman she is. She's an amazing, amazing woman. And they basically publicly humiliated her by doing this. And it's absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. And I hopefully for the viewers that it's disgusting to them too. And I would like to see justice. I mean, that's about it. That's all I can say right now.
Okay, listen, very good. I want to thank you again, and please, listeners, don't go away. We are just warming up. We have more guests, more information, more alleged crimes, or at least interesting news that we should be aware. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on UnitedStates.fm. Don't go away. Hey, you. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve a break. enjoy a moment of indulgence. It's time for Zanna Coffee. Guilt-free pleasure. Zanna Coffee is the organic coffee to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Only the best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world that I selected. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade certified, sustainable organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Get your coffee bag now. Don't be cheap. Life is too short and you deserve the best. Zanna Coffee. Here we go, guys. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States to the FM network.